So our last act of the concert is the Fremont Alumni Concert Band, and I can't say enough about Branden Hansen, the director here, in putting together this event. All of the hard work that he's put to assemble this, both the Fremont All-Star Jazz Combo and this concert band. And so I'd like to introduce Branden Hansen.
Well, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. As has already been expressed, we are so thankful that you're here on this beautiful day. I think it's entirely appropriate that we thank Ross in this fashion. I know we're not doing stories, but I couldn't help but think, I just didn't even think about this until today, but I've lived in Roseburg now for 13 years. For those of you who don't know, I'm the high school band director, so that means that I've worked very closely with Ross this whole time, and so many of my most impactful musical experiences have been these last 13 years, and they've been experiences I shared with my students. But the only reason I've had those students to share those musical experiences with is because Ross was the middle school band director who was feeding me these amazingly talented musicians, these wonderful people to get to work with. So many of my, even though I was never a student of his, all of my musical highlights, all the musical highlights of my life really are also because of Ross in a maybe different way. But I have the same gratitude for him. And so, as Jason mentioned, this is a Fremont Alumni Concert Band, but we also have some Joseph Lane Middle School students. We have current RHS students. We have other band directors from the area that worked with Ross. There's alumni, community members. It's really just a catch-all of everybody who wanted to come together and play some music. We got together and practiced today, just ran through these songs a couple of times, and that was it. And I think it's just really wonderful that all these people were able to get together and make this music together. So we're going to play two pieces for you. The first piece is called An Unending Legacy, and as I told the ensemble today, the name kind of sort of sells itself. It tells you why we're playing the piece, but I will just share with you a little bit from the program notes. It says, an unending legacy. A legacy, according to Webster's dictionary, is defined as something transmitted by or received from a predecessor. Educators and other members of the education community have the awesome responsibility to nurture and guide students on their path to greatness. This, in essence, is a legacy, but the connotation of the word only implies one or two generations. The word unending implies something eternal. It begins with one passing on what they learned to another, then another, and so on. Education, more than most professions, has the power to shape and change a person's life. It is this unending legacy that will cultivate the minds today for a brighter tomorrow. I don't think I need to connect the dots any more than that as to why I felt this was an appropriate piece to play in honor of Ross. So please enjoy An Unending Legacy. The final piece we're going to perform in the final selection of the night is Curtain Call. And this is going to be a massive tonal shift. Out of context, it would seem like an odd pick. This is kind of a jazzy, up-tempo piece. But the reason that we selected it is I asked students when we talked about the idea of putting together kind of a band that anybody that wants to can play in and participate in. I asked, is there any, traditional pieces that you played at Fremont or things that, that Ross would come back to time and time again? And the last several years, the Fremont Concert Band would play at the final concert of each year. They'd play Curtain Call. This is sort of a traditional piece for the last several years. So a lot of students up here that are Fremont alum played that piece. And so it just seemed really appropriate for this to be the last piece that we play. So this is Curtain Call. And again, I'm sure that Jason might have some words at the very end, but just thank you again so much for being here. We're blessed that you are here to share in this afternoon with us. So this is Curtain Call, and thanks again for joining us.
Again, for the Fremont Alumni Concert Band and Branden Hansen. And again, I would like to thank Branden for all of his hard work putting all of this together and all the musicians that participated today. And I think that it was really good the way that the one piece unending legacy kind of summed it up when you look at Ross's huge impact in this community. And to know going forward that when we're on stage in this community and I look at other musicians and see Ross's influence there, when I see it in my colleagues of musicians that have come up, of when you as people who have known Ross or heard Ross and think of how his music has influenced the way that you listen to music. And his impact was so huge, and we will all remember him going forward. And thank you so much for sharing this afternoon, this beautiful afternoon with us. And we will see you in the community, and we'll think about Ross. And everybody have a great rest of your day. Thank you again.